Hello boys and girls, I'm Mr. Dimmock. I'm the head teacher of Gracemount Primary School, and I want to say welcome to you all, welcome back. All the staff are gonna make a wee clip talking about reading. We're really keen to make our school a reading school. We've got a new library opening up, and I want to tell you about my favourite book. Do you know, I don't read as much nowadays as I used to. So the holidays, I read during the holidays, but not so much during school time. But my favourite book when I was a kid was anything by Roald Dahl, but Roald Dahl's Roald Dahl's autobiography. I love the fact that he told stories about real people, and he uses some of his characters in that. Nowadays, I read a lot of books that my kids read, and I got into the Alex Rider series. If you have not had a shot of reading that, then I suggest you read that. I'm in my kayak, I'm fishing at Crail at the moment, so Edinburgh is over that way somewhere, North Berwick and Edinburgh down there, and that's the caravan site where I'm staying behind me. Right, I better stop now, I feel a bit queasy when I'm talking to this on my kayak. I'll see you later, bye.
Hi, I'm Miss Levy, I'm one of the Support for Learning teachers. I just wanted to share with you my favourite book. When I was little, I used to love the story Chicken Licking, because I really enjoyed joining in with all the characters. And I think that's inspired my love of reading today.
Hello, I'm Mrs Higgins, and this year I'll be teaching Primary 1. I've loved reading my entire life, especially when I was a teenager and I read lots of Jacqueline Wilson books, the Hunger Games series, Twilight series, and obviously my absolutely favourite series of all time, Harry Potter. During the summer holidays, I read 7 different books, which I was really proud of. I really wanted to read as much as I could. And those 7 books were all very different genres. I read a non-fiction book about Labradors because I love the Labradors, and lots of fiction books from crime, fantasy, romance, and loved them all. Right now I'm reading War Horse by Michael Morpurgo. I don't think I've read any Michael Morpurgo books, but I saw War Horse in the theatre a few years ago and absolutely loved the theatre production, so I really hope that the book will be just as good. I think on my bookshelf I've got about 8 more books that I would love to read by the end of the year, so that's my goal. I just need to sit down and try and read as much as possible, and I hope you will too.
Hi there, I'm Miss Gilchrist and I'm in Primary 3B this year, and my favourite book is Little Miss Magic. And I just love the Mr. Main characters with all the other books that I have here, like Mr. Jelly, Mr. Snow, because I just love looking and seeing about all the different characters.
Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Brown here. You should all know me because I'm one of the deputy heads and I've been at Gracemount Primary School for a very, very long time. When I was growing up, I loved reading. One of my favourite characters was created by a Swedish author called Astrid Lundgren. The character's name was Pippi Longstocking. Pippi was a young girl with bright red hair in pigtails and freckles all over her nose. She loved to have adventures with her friends Tommy and Annika. There are lots of books about Pippi Longstocking. She was fun, feisty and fabulous, and I wanted to be just like her. Now that I'm older, I still love reading. I like to sit in the garden with a book, or I like to sit on the sofa cozied up if the weather's not too great and read a really good book. Reading makes me feel calm, relaxed and happy, so I might just go and read another chapter.
Hi, I'm Miss McLeod, a new PE teacher. I have always loved reading, in particular when I was younger I enjoyed Roald Dahl books. One of my favourites was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I loved watching the movie, and I like lots of movies which have been adapted from book series.
Hello everyone, I hope you've had a good start to your new year. My name is Mr. Grennan. I am the P5A teacher for this year, and I just wanted to let you know about my favourite story, and it's a story called The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. It's a story by Roald Dahl, and I really enjoyed it as a child. It's about this guy who learns like a superpower, and he starts using it for maybe not the best things in the world, but he learns and he starts using it for good, and then he learns that using a special power for good makes him feel a lot better. It's definitely a story I'm going to read to my new class, and if you have a chance, I'd highly recommend The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Have a great year everyone, take care.
Hi, my name's Claire Marchbank. I work in the nursery, and when I was younger my favourite book was Charlotte's Web.
Hi, my name's Christine and I work in the nursery. and I like to read all the Julia Donaldson books.
Hi, my name's Tegan and I work in the nursery. My favourite book is The Gruffle.
Hello boys and girls, my name's Mrs Crawford and I'm one of the pupil support assistants along in Primary 3. I used to really enjoy reading when I was a child. The books which I really enjoyed the most were the Enid Blyton books. I really enjoyed both The Famous Five and The Secret Seven. They're all really worth a read. But my favourite author of all was someone named Judy Blume. She was absolutely fabulous. My favourite book of hers was one called Blubber, which was about a little girl named Linda, and Linda went to school and ended up getting bullied. I would highly recommend that.
I'm Mrs Hamilton, and when I was younger, my favourite book to read was Tales of Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. Now that I'm older, I like to read thriller type books that leave you in suspense and wonder what will happen next. So I'm reading Slow Fires Burning by Paula Hawkins.
When I was younger, I used to love reading all the Roald Dahl books. I loved them all, but my favourite one was this one, Danny, the Champion of the World. I absolutely loved this book and I read it lots. I loved the relationship Danny had with his dad. I loved how they used to describe being in the caravan. It sounded so cosy. I loved how they worked together and they had a plan to free the pheasants. It was just really good. I really loved it. As an adult, I don't know if I've got a particular favourite book or favourite types of books. I think I like reading all different kinds of books, fiction, non-fiction, autobiographies, some romance, lots of different books.
Hello, my name's Mrs Loney. I'm the school administrator in the school office. My favourite book as a child was The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, and I have just finished reading an autobiography of Elton John called Me. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Mr McLeod and I'm the teacher of Primary 6C. So today I just want to share with you a couple of books that I have really enjoyed. We're going to start with one that I used to read all the time when I was younger. It's a book called The Avocado Baby. So I used to read this all the time. The Avocado Baby is a story about a baby who's really fussy, won't eat anything, and then all of a sudden his mum and dad realise that he really likes avocados, and he gets big and strong, and it becomes quite silly because after this he starts doing things like protecting his family from burglars and bullies, and yeah, he's extremely strong. You can see from the front cover what he's doing. So yes, Avocado Baby, recommend that, give it a read if you've not already. Now another book that I really enjoyed just now, and I don't think I read until I was in my 20s actually, it's Lord of the Rings. Now I don't actually have a copy of it. The copy I read I borrowed when I was at the library, so this is just an encyclopedia, but yeah, Lord of the Rings, such a great story. It's full of different characters like elves and dwarves and goblins and wizards and eagles. Yeah, this is one of those stories that just sparks a lot of wonder and imagination, and it's the kind of story that you can really get into. You think you know something about the story, and then you read it again and you discover there's something you've missed. Yeah, so Lord of the Rings is definitely a book that I really enjoy. And just before I finish, I would like to give a special mention to another book that I enjoyed just now. It is called Gorilla Loves Vanilla. I like this book because it is a rhyming book, but there's also loads of crazy types of ice cream flavours. And again, it gets the imagination going. Makes you think about the types of ice cream that you would like to enjoy. But ultimately, we know we all like a little bit of vanilla. So, that's all from me. See you later.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss French and I'm a pupil support assistant in Primary 3 this year. The book I loved to read as a child was Matilda. I always thought it was the funniest book I'd ever read, and I loved Miss Trunchbull in it. The book I love to read as an adult is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. I think this is a lovely read as it reminds you to be kind to yourself and others, and that asking for help is a really brave thing to do, and that being completely yourself is enough. Happy reading.
I'm Miss Glennie, and the book that inspired me to read was actually my Primary 7 novel, Run Zan Run, by a Scottish author named Catherine MacPhail.
So when I was younger, I used to always enjoy reading Enid Blyton. There was always like a series of books there, because there wasn't any internet to go to a mobile phone, so you didn't really have much choice other than to read. Nowadays I really enjoy reading autobiographies, real life events, and on my holidays sometimes I might pick up a wee book about romance.
Hi, I'm Mrs Chalmers. I'm one of the sport for learning teachers. When I was younger, I loved anything by Roald Dahl, like The Witches, and now I've got two of my own children. We love reading anything. The Owl Who's Afraid of the Dark is a huge hit in our house, and also Faster, Faster Little Red Train, and anything by Julia Donaldson. So next time I see you, I'd like to know what your favourite story is. Bye-bye!
Hi, my name's Angie and I work in the nursery, and my favourite book is The Stick Man.
Hello, I'm Ashley Murray. I work in the nursery and my favourite book is The Tiger Who Came to Tea.
Hi, I'm Katrina Anderson. I work in the nursery and my favourite book is Room on the Broom.
Hello, I'm Kira Skellett. I work in the nursery and my favourite book is Winnie the Pooh.
Hello, I'm Miss Martin. My favourite book is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. It is my favourite book because I just love all the inspirational quotes and how it makes you feel when you read it. It's just a really lovely read, and I've read it with a few of my classes now. My favourite thing about reading when I was younger was taking a book to lots of different locations, like the beach, climbing a tree, and sitting with a friend or a family member and reading together in the most random places. And so I'm hoping this year that I can get my class to read in lots of random places.
Hi, my name is Agnieszka Kowalik. I'm early years practitioner. My favourite book when I was little was Anne of Green Gables.
I'm Miss Fairfield and I'm teaching Primary 6 this year. My favourite childhood book was, when I was at school, was the St Clair's books by Enid Blyton.
Hello everyone, I'm Miss Sloan and this year I am teaching Primary 7. One of my favourite series of books are the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I love the different characters in the story, the adventures that they go on, and I just love that I can leave reality behind and get lost in the magic of the story.
Hi, I'm Miss McPherson. When I was little, I loved reading the horrible history books. In fact, this was one of my favourites, The Rotten Romans. I've got a 9-month-old baby, so at the moment we read a lot of picture books. His favourite book at the moment is Where's Mr Duck? And he's very good at finding Mr Duck and all the other animals that are hidden behind the felt flaps.
Hi, my name's Miss Dobie and I'm teaching Primary 3A this year, and my favourite book that I've read with our class is The Nowhere Emporium, because it's filled with twists and turns and we were all at the edge of our seats every chapter.
Hi, I'm Miss Tripp. When I was younger I used to love reading anything by Roald Dahl. One of my favourites was Revolting Rhymes because they are really funny and silly. Now I love reading to relax.
Hi, I'm Mrs Kurt Malley and this year I'm teaching Primary 7. One of my favourite books is Running Wild by Michael McPurgo. The reason that I like this so much is it's got some great themes about sustainability and conservation. One of my other favourite books is by a Scottish author and it's The Accidental Time Traveller, full of mystery and magic.
Hello, I'm Mrs Walker and I'm teaching Primary 1 this year. My favourite book is Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak, because I love all the pictures and I like that Max is a wee bit cheeky but he learns how to be kind.
Hello boys and girls, I'm Mrs Kelly and I teach maths from Primary 3 to Primary 7, and I pop into classes maybe once a week or once a fortnight, and I teach a little bit of maths while your teachers are out planning some amazing lessons for you. So what's my favourite book? My favourite book is Roald Dahl with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and this became my favourite book way back a long time ago when I was in Primary 4 and my teacher read it to my class. I've always loved it since then. I love the characters, I love the humour, and I just love the questions it sometimes raises about certain behaviours or choices. And I love the happy ending for Charlie at the end. What do I read now? Well, I still enjoy reading, but I spend a lot of my time actually reading with my son. So what's his favourite books at the moment? He's 8, and one of his favourite books is Horrid Henry. Okay, and there's lots of Horrid Henry actually. He reads lots of different Horrid Henrys, one of his favourites that he can take away and sit and read by himself. He also, though, doesn't just enjoy fiction, he also loves non-fiction, and at the moment we're reading lots of things in an atlas and learning about countries around the world. So I spend a lot of time team reading with my son, but I also still enjoy sitting down with a nice cup of tea and a book when I get the chance. Okay.
Hi, my name's Miss Ormiston and this year I'm teaching Primary 2A. My favourite book as a child was The China Rabbit by Enid Blyton. Last year I happened to mention it to Mrs Kirkmalley and a few days later went into school and saw it on my desk. She had managed to find me one online second hand and she had bought it just to remind me of my favourite book, which was really, really kind, and I really enjoyed reading it from the beginning again. Thinking back to my very first year as a teacher, I had a Primary 2 class, just like I do this year, and we enjoyed reading The Faraway Tree, which is another Enid Blyton classic. The children and myself really enjoyed thinking about what was going to happen next to the characters, and we put ourselves into the shoes of the characters and thought about what we would do if we were faced with the same dilemmas that they were faced with throughout the story. We also took our learning outside, and it was really nice to read the book out in the playground. As an adult, I enjoy reading travel books because I like to see pictures of all the different places that I could visit, and I also enjoy Japanese literature. The Japanese books is something that I have only just started reading a few years ago, and it all started with a book called Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I'm now on the third one, which is Before Your Memory Fades, and the reason I like that series of books is because there are funny moments, sad moments, and some really, really strange moments in there as well.
It's Mr. Thompson in P4C. Now, the books I was obsessed with when I was younger were all the Roald Dahl books, but the book I'm actually reading just now is Call of the American Wild. It's about a guy who lived in Edinburgh, and he just got totally fed up with his 9-to-5 job, sitting at a desk all day, packed his bags, moved to Alaska, and he just wrote a book about all his experiences there, and it's just really, really interesting. It's a true story as well.
Hello, my name's Colin. I'm the facilities technician, or as everybody knows me, the Jarry. My favourite book when I was younger was The Railway Children. We'd done it as a project at primary school, and then we had to write a story about it. So that's about as much I can say, really.
Hello, I'm Miss Maltby and I am teaching P2B this year. My favourite book when I was younger were all the Mog stories. I used to like them, especially Mog and the Vet was one of my favourites. And the book that I'm reading just now is called The Thursday Murder Club, which is a funny book. It's a bit of a comedy and I'm really enjoying it. Bye!
Hello, my name's Miss Yeoman and I'm teaching Primary 7 this year. I'm really excited to see you around the school. My favourite childhood book was The Tiger Who Came to Tea by Judith Kerr.
Hi, Mrs Anderson here, and this year I will be teaching Primary 5B. My favourite memories of reading are when I used to get cuddled up to my granny and she would read me whatever story I asked for. Or at night time, my mum used to lie on the bed beside me and read me bedtime stories before I went to sleep. Favourite books I enjoyed when I was young was Enid Blyton, The Secret Seven in particular. When I, as a mum, my 2 children were growing up, I enjoyed reading Harry Potter books to them. And now the kind of books that I like are autobiographies. So where somebody writes about their life and explains how they got to where they are today. Enjoy reading!
Hi boys and girls, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mrs Buchanan. I am the principal teacher at Gracemount Primary School. When I was growing up I loved reading Jacqueline Wilson, The Famous Five. I loved Harry Potter as well. I still read today and it really helps me relax. I read lots of different types of books, fantasy, fiction, things about people's lives, things about the past. I still read books about teaching as well, because you can always get better at your job, and lots of things about children's health and well-being and how to help them.
Hi, I'm Mr. Morrison. I'm Primary 1-2 teacher this year. I've got two favourite books, just to annoy Mrs. Lowry. My favourite small children's book is Dogger by Shirley Hughes. Because I think it's about something that happens to every child, that you lose something that you love, and how that makes you feel, and how you desperately search for it. And his big sister, spoiler, finds it for him at the end. And I always wanted my big brother to do something that nice for me. And my second favourite book is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And that's because when I was little, my dad read it to me and my brother, and at the end of each chapter, we had to draw a picture of what happened. That's one of my kind of standout childhood memories.
Well, there you go, boys and girls, mums and dads. That's what the staff at Gracemount like reading. Now, it's over to you guys. We are desperate to get you guys reading even more. Mums and dads want you to be reading to the children, and children want you to be reading to the mums and dads as well. So what are you guys reading now?